Hey guys, Tumbling Wumble here, and I'm very excited to say that Magical Sanctum has finally ended. About 2 weeks ago. Yeah, I was kind of late to the party, and I couldn't make Enchantling on time, but I finally finished with Enchantling and all the monsters. So, wahoo! Let's look at all the monsters from Magical Sanctum and see how they are, and my overall opinion on them, and whether or not I did a good job on them. Alright, first monster we'll be looking at is Knucklehead. Well, Knucklehead. I think this is one of my favorite monsters that appeared in the island. I like him a lot. He has a cool design. He's very unique, and yeah, he just kind of looks like a cereal brand character that you would see in grocery stores. But I very much like his sound, and yeah, I like him a lot. Next up is Fronley. I like Fronley a lot. I did kind of make the mistake of putting in these brown pieces of fabric on Fronley, even though they're actually just holes. But I really like Fronley in the game. I would not have expected it to actually lift up its hair and start singing. I think we all were very surprised by that. Next up is Zeester. For the longest time, everybody kept saying that it was Zeester. Or, sorry, Zeester. It was not Zeister, it was Zeester. And, of course, I mispronounced it. Now, this has to be one of my favorite monsters that is on the island. I love this monster. I love how it's very much related to the gas family. And it's overall a cute and cool monster. Better than Kahoot. Anywho, let's continue. So these three monsters were first released on the first release of Magical Sanctum. Now we'll be looking at some of the other monsters that were released like the next 2 weeks after their debut, being Deja Jin, Marvelous, and actually, wait, I don't know. That's okay. So I can't remember if these were just those monsters, but I am gonna include Kahoot in this because why not? So I'm pretty sure Kahoot wasn't shown in MSN Fandemonium. I love Deja Jin. I think he was pretty cool in the island, and I still love him a lot. And he's overall a cute little monster. He's adorable. Look at him. Look at his little face. Look at his little face. Okay. Larvalus. While I love Larvalus, and also I put strings from a broom on the tail. I love Larvalus a lot. I love the design and the colors. It just sounds really similar to Zeester. Remember when everybody was talking about how the monsters from Fire Haven sounded similar to other monsters from other islands? That's the same thing with Larvalus, but I haven't really seen anyone talk about this, so I'm going to talk about it right here. I love these monsters a lot, but they sound too similar to each other. Yeah. Kahoot. This was the monster that I was having trouble with making because it's like a galaxy inside of here. But I think Kahoot is a really cool monster. It's just one of my least favorites, to be honest. For the longest time, everybody just loved Kahoot, and I was just kind of those people that were just like, okay. But I'm not saying any of these monsters are bad. Far from it. I think these are incredible monsters, and I love how they turned the bone, psychic, fairy, and light element and made them very different in different unique styles. So next up is Mushaboom. you can definitely see how much work I spent into this monster, and I think he's one of my favorites on the island. But I do very much like his design, and of course the mushrooms on him and everything. Oh yeah, by the way, I'm not gonna talk about Fly and Clacula in this video. I'll do that when I finish the Fairy and Bone Island monsters. I'm still working on most of the Fairy Island monsters and the Bone Island quad elements. Alright. Next up is Good Day. I freaking love this monster. He's my favorite. It's my favorite of the entire island, and I love him. I honestly love him. I was kind of worried about him because his design was kind of mixed around whether or not the coloring on his snout was just fully colored, and the spots here were a different color as well. But then of course it was confirmed to the game update, and Sparky the dog 6. So thank you very much, Sparky the dog 6, for confirming this, and this is the overall, final design. Never mind, get back there. Okay, anywho, yeah, here he is, my favorite monster from the island, aside from one more. But I really like Good Day, and I love the inclusion of Gajoob as very similar to this monster. Next up is Oztax, and another monster that I really like. Of course, this monster that I made here is probably sort of the least interesting one, but I love his sound, and I love the tower design to him. He's very tall as well. I think he's the tallest one, aside from one other monster. I love his sound, I love the design for him. He's cool, or it's cool. I don't know the genders of most of these monsters, but it's very nice. It's very nice looking. Rorik. This monster took so much time for me to make, but I still love the outcome of this monster, and I do really like its sound in the game. A lot of detail went into the monster here. The necklace here, you can be able to see the mouth. Yes, the necklace I feel like was my favorite part, aside from everything else. I do really like this monster. I think he's really cool, and yeah. And the last monster, which we all know and love, is Enchantling. What can I say? Honestly, I'm not disappointed. I was disappointed for a little bit, but then after a while, I felt like this was so much better than Bloat on Light Island, for several reasons. One, the island itself I think is really cool, and how they connect the monster to the island is incredible, and I love it. The mask is cool, and his eyes and the mask glow, which I like. And he's very cute. But this is the kind of issue that I had with Larvalus. He sounded kind of similar, not too similar, to Rorik. Also, he's very ugly, but in a cute way. And honestly, I kind of felt like he was a little overrated for how much love he was getting. I mean, yeah, he's just such a cool monster, but I kind of wish they would have made him more cooler, I guess, for a quad element of the magical Sanctum Island. But, I'm not disappointed of how they made this monster, and I think he's really cute and big. And of course, he's humongous. I mean, look at him. Oztax, I think, is probably very small compared to him. Yeah. And of course, a lot of time went into this monster, and I think he came out really well. Not to toot my own horn here, but I like him a lot, and I love his tone coloring, and yeah, everything about enchantment is really cool. It's just not my favorite monster. That's all. So yeah, that's all of the Magical Sanctum monsters. And I think they are really cool. I love every single one of these monsters, and you can definitely see how much colorfulness there are to these monsters. And of course, the My City Monsters community is very correct about how cool these monsters are. I just have some little opinions on them. I do think this island is probably my second favorite island, right up next to Fire Oasis, and you know, higher up than Bone Island. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed this video. I will probably be making the Bone Island and Fairy Island monsters, fabric monsters video. It's just I need to make most of the Fairy Island monsters, and I haven't really made that many. And only one more Bone Island monster. And that is it for this video. Don't tumble over a wumble.